What's up, guys? I said this before, and I'll say it again. I don't want to keep pumping out sensitivity videos because they don't change relatively that much. And these are my settings, so they're not going to help you. Some people might like them, some people might not. But I'm going to put up a settings video anyway, since a lot of people have been asking again. Maybe new players. I know free to play has just been released, so it might help a couple of people out. And I'll go through and explain the settings while we're going through them. So first things first. I've played Type B. There's Type A, Type B, Type C, and Custom. Custom, you can customize any button you want. So if you play a really, really weird way, go to Custom, sort it out. You can also do keybinds to your mappable buttons on your controller. Type C is, I'm pretty sure that's more if you have claw. I don't ever really go through these because I've always been Type B since the start. But if you guys are struggling, I suggest, like with Type A, if you're struggling, go to Type B. Might be a lot better for you. It's basically like playing Call of Duty. Dead zones. So if you have stick drift, which is if you line up straight and your character's just moving on its own, that means you have stick drift. The lower you put it, so if you get a brand new controller, I suggest you put it to 0. If it has stick drift, then probably take it back. You shouldn't have stick drift at all if you have a brand new controller. But what we should do is, if you start having a bit of stick drift, just up it by 1, check it. If it's still moving, up it by 1, keep going until it stops moving. That's all you need to do. My stick drift is pretty bad at the minute, so I have to put it on 7, but I refuse to. I don't want to. It delays the movement that you stick. So vibration is always going to be on. I can't play games where there is no vibration. It feels like I'm not even playing the game. So the vibration strength is on 10, so my controller does die really, really quickly. And the rumble pads, I think I end up going to be going in this controller, so I need a new controller. Forward run sensitivity is on 50. That's just the sensitivity of running forward, so it's instantly, if it's on max, instantly as soon as you click that stick in, it starts running, rather than any bit of delay, or you have to push down and start moving. It just instantly starts moving. I didn't have that on max. I've had that on 30 for absolute years, but I put it on max. Doesn't really feel any different, so I just put it on max. Movement sensitivity, I just put it on max. It feels like it's a lot smoother when it's on max. Even my character moves a lot faster. There's not so much of a delay on buttons. So I mean, give it a go, guys. You might even like it, but that doesn't really affect your aim or anything like that. It's just your character movement. So this one is the big one, ladies and gentlemen, the vertical sensitivity multiplier. This is the percentage of how much you have to pull down your stick. So on the right hand side, you pull down your stick to control recoil, and it determines how much you have to pull down. So if you're used to pulling down a lot, then I'll probably keep it around about 100. But I put mine max. I want mine even higher than max. I don't even like it at 150. I just feel like I'm just not pulling down. I'm pulling down on the stick too much than I should have. Maybe it's because I have stick drift. I'm not sure. But that is the big setting. If you get that to the point where you know where you're pulling your stick down to, so every time you shoot, you just pull your stick down and snap it into place where you need it to be to hold that recoil, you're going to be able to shoot. It's going to help you out a lot. So I've got general sensitivity is just how fast you can look around, how fast your character whips left and right. I have my max because I turn on people. Well, I attempt to anyway, but I end up turning on people. If someone shoots in the back, I want to be able to whip round as fast as I can and shoot them back before they down me. If you have it on low, you can still do that, but it just takes a little bit more, more time to turn around. I know a lot of people who play low general, but they can still beam, so don't feel like you have to have it on max, because you don't. Driver sensitivity, I don't really need that any higher than what it is. I don't need that. I mean, I used to have that on 8. It doesn't matter regardless. I'll always crash the car. I'll always kill my teammates. And I will always flip the car. No matter what I'm playing, I can play in a tournament, I could be playing ranked, I can be playing FEP, I can be playing solos, I can be playing anything. I'll always flip my car. Every game, I'll flip the car. I'm just a very bad driver in this game. Aim acceleration, I do have mine off. I know a lot of people have it on for when they have slower sensors, but I just don't like aim acceleration. So basically, when you have it enabled, when you're aiming or tracking a car, it will start from 0 sensitivity and it'll quickly work its way up to a 4.9, or it'll quickly work its way up to a 20. I don't like that. I like to be able to move as fast as I can straight away without having to warm up. Some people might like it. I know a lot of people. There's a couple of big players who do use aim acceleration. I can't use it personally. It's horrendous. I've tried. I can't do it. So I do have mine off. Over the shoulder sensitivity is when you hold LB or LB. So I get confused with the PlayStation and the Xbox buttons. But LB is when you soft aim. So when you aim, but you don't aim down sight. It's just over the shoulder. That's how fast you can, aim left and right with that. That's more of just a panic. So if you run slow sensors, you run into a building and you want to be able to shoot at some guy without having to aim down sight, this is definitely the one to have a bit faster than usual. That way you can, if they're moving left and right, if they've got a Vector or an SMG, you can easily put them down while you're doing that. Adjusted sensor cache sensitivity, I always have that on 10. It's just how fast it goes up and down. So as well as the vertical sensitivity multiplier being the big setting, these are the next big settings. You have to get the correct settings, not the ones that I'm showing you, but the correct settings for you. You can use mine as a template. You can use mine to start off somewhere and think, oh bloody hell, that 8.1x is a bit too slow for me, and then you just bump it up. Or that 8.1x is too fast for me, you just bump it down. Or you can always use people's settings as a template, but never use someone's actual settings, because it will never get you anywhere. It's like going onto PC and asking, I don't know, Tiggleton, oh yo bro, what's your settings for your mouse and key? And then you go on PC, you're not going to be able to shoot the same as him because he has mad settings, but he has settings for him, not for everyone else. I run an 8 on the 1x. I never pick up a 2. I never pick up a 2x. It doesn't matter what I have that on. I can have that on max if I really wanted to. I don't use the 2x ever. I'll just put that on 9. 3x, obviously, when you spray an AR, I prefer to have it a bit higher because, tracking cars, I normally track cars with a 3x or track people running from distance for 3x. So I like to have mine a bit faster. So mine is a 10.5. 4x, I have an 8 because that's the scope that bounces around quite a bit. It does bounce around. So I have mine on 8. Perfect for me. It works for me. That's how I have it on. The 6 and the 8. So the 6 I have on a 5 and the 8 having a 4.5. I don't usually use 6 times as on ARs anymore. I used to use it a lot, like the M4 6 times, the barrel 6 times. I just don't use that anymore. So I put mine down. Generally, I would love to have like certain scope sensitivity. So like I like to have a 3, a 4, and a 6 different settings for them scopes, but for DMRs. So one for ARs, one for DMRs. That would be the dream. That would be insane, because I would have them faster on my ARs than I would on my DMRs. So the 6 times is only on a 5. You want to get those pinpoint precise headshots. You want to get those pinpoint precise shots from a distance, and you can't really do that with a fast sensitivity. Some people can, some people can't. I can't because the stick drift I've got at the moment. I would normally have that on about a 6 or a 6.5, but I have that lower because of the stick drift. The 8, I do tend to spam that 8. So the Mini 14, I have the trigger stops on the Elite, so I can spam those shots, but doesn't mean I'm going to hit any. But I have that only on a 4.5. So that's, the 15x, when do you ever really pick up a 15x? I have that on max because for some reason that scope is ridiculously broke. With it zoomed in, you still can't move it. It is like on a 1 sensitivity. It is so weird, bro. But yeah, the 15x, I have that on 20 because it needs to be as fast as possible. Gameplay, obviously cross-platform. I have on English, colorblind mode, protanopia. This, there's a lot of settings. Normal, but I like the blue zone still being blue. Red zone is yellow. I don't never really even see the red zone because I don't play publics. I only play solos, and I do see it a lot then, to be honest. But I have blue blood. So if you have it on normal, obviously you shoot somebody, the blood's red, and sometimes from afar you can't really see if you're hitting somebody. So I normally have it on prosynopia, so the blood is light, like a teal light blue, and you can see if you're hitting somebody from a mile away, which is very, very handy. Crosshair color, I don't mess with that. On-screen button hints. If you're a new player, I would suggest to have it on. You can have it advanced, basic. I don't even know you can do that, but I would have that on just to remind you what buttons are what, just until you get used to what buttons you got to press to pick stuff up or swap weapons about. Network bug statistics. So this is your connectivity issues. So if you're playing and your connection suddenly jumps up, you know, it tells you in the top left corner, roughly, like, sit out somewhere, you know, don't take a fight if your connections are in a really bad way at the moment. Some people can't help it. The servers are quite far away from the where they're playing. So people from the Middle East, unfortunately, they have really, really terrible internet because there's no servers anywhere near them. So they most likely get packet loss and high ping, like 110, 120 high ping, which is really, really unfortunate for them players, because it affects them as well as it affects me. You know, they can desync me, I can desync them. It's very frustrating at times. But to have this setting on, it gives you a general input of what your connection's like, if it's good, if it's bad. The lower the ping, the better. Compass background, I have mine disabled. I don't really know anything to do. I've always had that disabled. Loot flash effect, I always have mine on pulse. If you have it on glow, sometimes you do miss things because you don't see it catch in the corner of your eye. So if I have it on pulse, sometimes it's a cheek pad you desperately need, or a red dot you desperately need. You don't see it, and you see it flash in the corner of your eye. Always have it on pulse. Inventory tooltips, I don't have that on either. Reticle type, I just have mine on dot. Brightness, I have mine on high. Everything I have, like, you know, full auto. You don't want to pick up a gun and you can't straight away shoot the whole clip at someone, especially if you're going to hot drop. You know, you drop into Sanok, you drop into boot camp, you pick up a gun. The last thing you need is your AK to be on single fire when you're trying to shoot a guy 2 feet away from you. So make sure you go down a list and make sure you put them all on full auto, or at least burst. TPP aim, camera aim position, I always reset it to the right shoulder. It feels weird when you do all this, like latest aim shoulder, latest peak shoulder. I just have mine on right shoulder, so I know exactly where it's going to go. Auto reload, always have that on. So as soon as your clip goes empty, it instantly starts, you know, reloading. A lot of people have that off, but I have that on. Auto equip attachments, I like to be able to run over to a red dot, pick that red dot up, and it goes straight onto my gun. Sometimes it's very frustrating when you accidentally pick up a 6 times and it goes onto your AK and you think you've got iron sights and you end up getting killed. That happened to me yesterday. It was very, very frustrating. But at the same time, it's very, very good. Auto-equipable scopes. I mean, you could do that where it'll only equip the counter sight and a red dot. It might be worth my, you know, it might be worth me doing that actually. But for the time being, I'll keep it as that. Or replace attachments. So when you pick up a new gun, so like you've got an AK, but you're going for the barrel, or you're going for the M4, it instantly stops your red dot straight to that next gun you just picked up. It's very, very handy. Auto replace weapon skins. So if you're like me, through the years you've bought quite a lot of few skins. I mean, I've deleted a lot of mine now. I got rid of a lot of mine. I don't really necessarily change my skins, like my outfits and stuff, or my weapon skins. So I just deleted a lot. But that's always good to use. Like, the last thing you want to do is pick up a gun with someone's got a bright orange camouflage on the gun. It just looks like a Nerf gun. So I always have mine on so it instantly swaps the skin to my skin. Same with the vehicle. I don't like using certain skins. Like, there's a Dartier skin what's like Dino Land. I hate that skin. It really frustrates me when people use it. It's disgusting. So I end up getting mine, which is like a blue teal sort of camouflage, which is really, really nice. Hide helmet. So if you disable it, you'll be able to see your own helmet. If you enable it, you'll see your outfit, what you wear. So if I wear a cowboy hat, so if I have mine enabled, I'll be wearing a cowboy hat no matter if I've got a helmet on or not. It's pretty cool. So you get to see your full outfit while you're running around shooting people. Radio message is probably one of the best features on the settings at the moment. You know, quick ping and stuff like that. Like, have it enabled, have option 1, have it enabled. They're definitely the 3 best things you want. So you don't only have to aim at somebody, click in the right stick. Don't click up and down, just click in the right stick and it'll instantly mark what that target is. So the rest of your team can see whereabouts he is. Continuous item use. I only have bandages because 9 times out of 10 when you're going to put on a bandage, you're not just going to put 1 on, you're going to put a lot more on. Especially if you have the slow med. The last thing you want to do is drink an energy drink and be putting on 4 or 5 energy drinks when you don't have those to spare. So I have that off, and I have bandages only. I have no idea what this is. I have no idea what that is, so I don't even bother with that. Observer, unless you're hosting a tournament and stuff like that, you don't really need to touch observer cams. I haven't touched them since the buttons, well, since the settings have come out for this. I haven't touched it at all. So the replay, I always have the death cam. Sometimes I'm like, how did I just die? Where did this guy just shoot me from? I'd like to see. So I always have that on, so you can always see where they've shot you from. Volume max. I always have the music off. I love the music, but at the same time I hate it. It is so loud. And when you're trying to talk to people in a lobby, it tends to annoy me. So you can either have legacy or remastered. The remasters are horrible sounds. Some people like them, but the M4 sounds like a paintball gun. I don't like it, so I always have legacy. It sounds like an actual gun. More realistic versions. The graphics, safe area always have it on 100. Field of view, I have it on 98. So field of view is it's for the FPP camera. It depends on the lower you have it, the closer you are to your gun. The higher it is, the further away you are from your gun. I have them on a 98. Some people play 60. Some people play 80. Is it 60? No, 80 is the lowest. Yeah, some people play 80, and I don't know how they can play 80. It's crazy. Brightness is 70. It's perfect for me. It's not too bright on Miramar. It's not too bright here. It's not too bright there, but it's not too dark there either. It's kind of perfect where it is. Graphics mode. You want it on frame rate priority. This game still can't do resolution priority. I don't know if I don't know if anyone can actually play resolution, but it's just really framey. It is, even on the new consoles, you can't play resolution. As much as I'd love to have better graphics, I'm not really gonna give up my frames. It's unplayable at times. But I'll always go for frame rate priority. That's all of my settings, guys. Hopefully they work out for you if you try and use them, or work on them, use them as a template. It'd be really, really cool to see what you guys think of my settings. It might be like, oh wow, my settings are very similar to yours, or wow, my settings are totally different to yours. But that's how it is. People's settings are all different. There's people in this game who are better than me. There's people in this game who are worse than me, and they all have different settings. It depends on how you have your settings. But that's it, guys. That's all I'm going to go over. There's not much I can go through with the settings. I've kind of explained it to the best of my ability. And I'll see you on the battlefield, guys. Take it easy. Peace.